Michigan. Where else are we connecting from? Hey, Shamika Patterson, good to see you. Hello, hello. Thanks, Josh Andrews, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Florida, that's what's up. Yes, what's happening, Denise? Good to see you. All right, so first day of spring. Keep on shouting out where you're from. It's a good stuff. Mel in Texas. What's going on, Mel? Good to see you. So good, good. We're connecting all over the place, and that's a good thing. Hope you've had a fantastic weekend. I'm definitely excited. First day of spring, feeling good. New Jersey, right over the bridge, not too far from me. That's good to have you. I always think, like spring, new season, right? It can almost sound cliche. All right, we're going into a new season. We're going into a new season. But for real, we are in a new season. Just in a matter of moments, we cross out of winter, we head into spring, and spring presents us with this opportunity, this idea that things can become brand new. And with that in mind, we can take on we can develop new relationships. Few moments, I'm going to be planting, in the next few days, I'm going to be planting a garden, growing something new, right? Growing something new. But before I do that, there are some things that I need to handle. And I think, like most of our relationships, lots of rainstorms here in Dallas. Well, glad that you're getting some rain. Most of our relationships, I think sometimes we can move into something, we can want to move into something, but we don't handle something first. And that is this topic of spring cleaning. We don't handle what has been. We don't necessarily move things out. And so tonight, on this first day of spring, which happens to be March 21st and my sister's birthday. So shout out to my sister. I love you so much. This first day of spring, I think it's a perfect time for some spring cleaning. I think it's a perfect time for us to take an inventory of our lives, take an inventory of our relationships. I sent out a text message earlier. It's time to check your health, check your heart, check your home. Right? Let's just look into some areas of our lives and say, you know what? Let me evaluate what needs to be cleaned up before I move into a new season, before I try to grow, before I try to develop something. Let me first see if things need to be cleaned out, because the past can get in the way of your future when you don't handle it, right? Sometimes we wonder why growth isn't happening. We wonder why expansion isn't happening. And sometimes it's because there's just too much clutter in our lives. Over the past week, I've been helping my mom, and she's been doing some stuff in her house and cleaning some things out. And, it wasn't necessarily spring cleaning, but it was cleaning nonetheless. We need to clean some stuff out. There are some things that we've been holding on to, some things that were in the house. It was time to let them go. You're not using it. It doesn't serve your purpose anymore. It was for another time. And another time, it might have been useful. But right now, not so much. So it was time to let it go. And here's one of the things that I noticed, and there's something that you can probably apply somewhere in your life. I noticed that it is easier to let go of things when someone else helps you handle it, right? It's easier to throw some stuff away when somebody else is actually the one that can go in and throw it away for you. And here's why. Because there's no emotional attachment. There's no emotional attachment to those possessions or those belongings. So someone else can go in and clearly see, this doesn't help you anymore. We need to move this out. Now, sometimes, like, let's think about our on a romantic level, or when we're looking at our lives, we can say, like, we can have all this heart connection to someone, and we keep them in our phone book. We keep them in our contacts list. We stay connected with them on social media. We're connected to people that are connected to them. And so there's all this connection, and we wonder why we can't move forward. Well, there's too much clutter. You can't make room for a new romance. You can't make room for that new romantic relationship when you have all these strings attached to the past. Come on now, like, for real. How are we going to make room to hold someone else's hand when we have all these cobwebs from the past clogging us up? Now, I'm talking about cobwebs because over the past few days and the days ahead, I have to go into the barn and clean out cobwebs, right? Cobwebs, what do? They spiders spin cobwebs, spider webs so that they can catch things. The cobwebs of our relationships keep us all tangled up. I'm sure if you're anything like me, you have walked into a spider web at some point, and all of a sudden you turn into a ninja and you're like, you know, because that thing is grabbing a hold to you, it's sticking to you, and you don't want it on you. Well, that's what the past, that's what our past relationships are like. It's over. We broke up. They broke up with us. The thing ended. And yet we still have all this connection to it. We're still so tied to it. We still have all these mementos from it. Like let's be honest. There might be some things in your house right now that connect you to a past relationship that's just leaving the door open. Right? It's just leaving the door open to the memories. It's just leaving the door open to the connection. Why? It's over. Time to let it go. Right? You gotta let it go. Love TKO. Knock it out. Let it go. Right? There are some things that are in our lives. Right? You want to change your atmosphere. You want to change your environment. You want to change your home. But you still have all the clutter. Right? You're still holding on to the stuff. You got bins and totes, and there's stuff under the bed. There's things in the closet. There's clothes that you don't wear. Let that stuff go. Right? Like, let's not be desperate. In our new season, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. In our new season, we are going into this new season and we will not be desperate. Okay, we're not going to be people of a desperate mindset, of a lacking mindset, thinking if I let this go, I just don't know if anything else will ever come along. No, we're not going to be desperate and needy. No, not in the new season. In the new season, here's what you say: I'm letting this go because I need to make space for the opportunities that are coming my way. I need to make space for the new thing. See, if you really believe that there is something great ahead of you, if you really believe that there is potentially something great that's available to your life, guess what? You don't have to hold on to the old thing. If you believe that there is something greater in your life available, you don't have to hold on to the lesser. Stop negotiating with the lesser because it puts you in a desperate situation. It makes you needy. It makes you feel like you're operating out of lack instead of abundance. That old relationship that you're holding on to is over for a reason because it wasn't enough. It didn't meet the need. There was something that wasn't there. So don't keep holding on to that because that's going to draw you back into lesser. You want to move into greater? Change the standard, clean things out, get rid of some stuff, right? You want to change your body, right? You're moving into a new phase of life. You're going to get healthier. You're going to get fit. You're going to reshape your body. You're going to do something. Okay. Guess what? Let some of those clothes go. Go into your closet, stuff that you haven't, let it go. Don't sit there and hold on to it. One day I might get into this again and everything. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Give yourself a brand new moment. Give yourself a mindset that when I get to the health and the physique that I want to have, I'm just going to go shopping. There's something in me that's going to change between now and then that's going to move me into a different place. And I'm going to actually go buy myself something when I get to that place. I'm not moving into that place only to wear yesterday's clothes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let some things go. I'm gonna let go of the past. I'm gonna let go. I see that perhaps you're holding on to some pain. Perhaps you're holding on to some negative mindsets from the past. But in your new season, it's a brand new season. In your new season, how is that going to really help you? How is holding on to I never amount to anything? Things always go wrong. How is that really going to help you in your new season? Is it? I don't think it is. Not for where you want to go. We're not talking about simply sitting here and dreaming and hoping. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually setting yourself free from what has been so that you can move into something greater, so that you can have the new relationship. Not, I want to have the new relationship with all the old baggage. Don't do that. Don't contaminate your new relationship with all your old stuff. Spring into something new. Jump into something new. Move forward. Springing is it presents you with this idea of moving forward at an accelerated pace. To spring forward is not the same as casually walking forward. It's not the same as sashaying forward. Springing forward is going to happen with some force. See, we're talking about not we I don't let's not just do casual, right? Let's not just barely get by. Let's not barely make it into the new season. Let's spring into the new season. Yeah, it sounds cliche. I know it sounds cliche. It sounds downright corny, but for real, let's spring into it. If you take on the mindset that, oh no, I'm springing into this. I'm not just going to barely get into it. I'm going to go from here and launch into it. I'm going to launch into my new season. I'm going to launch into this new relationship. I am launching into greater health. I am launching into a different mindset. What are you launching into? See, Edna said, how is it that you talk about the stuff that I'm feeling and going through? I talk about the stuff that Edna is feeling and going through because we're connected. See, I think that when we get into an environment with the right people and you hear a message that meets you where you are, that's a sign. That's a good sign. You're like, wait a second, I'm getting something that I need in this environment. Perhaps on a whole nother level, our hearts are connected, our lives are connected for a greater purpose. And we don't need to be casual about this. This is what I'm saying. So let's spring into it. Today, I had a fantastic opportunity to go to a local elementary school, and I took the 10 baby chicks that I bought last week. I took them to this elementary school. And so we went into this new classroom, and we went into the classroom. I took the baby chicks into the classroom, and there were 42 children, two adult teachers. And so we go in, and I set it all up, and the kids come in from where they were, this other program. They come in from their other class, and they see the chicks, and they're all excited. They're excited because there was something new. They're like, "Oh, look at the baby chicks." Right? They're all excited because the baby chicks were in their classroom and they didn't know that they were going to be there. And so I'm teaching them and I'm showing them about the chicks and how to care for them, because I told them, I said, "Listen, they have to stay with you. They're new into life. These chicks, they're going to stay with you, and I want you to care for them. I want you to touch them and hold them and pick them up and feed them. Take care of them for me. Can you do that?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we can do that." So immediately, their lives were launched into something new. Why? Because they had an opportunity to care for something. So here's my question: what is it that you care for that's going to launch you into a new space? See, for me, caring for those young people launched me into another space. Right? I've shared and been in schools before, but not with this group of kids. I've never interacted with this group of kids before, but today, brand new relationships immediately started. I was sitting there, I was talking with him. One little boy, he really was into cars and he's asking me about cars and we were talking about cars. Another little child, they're trying to figure out how can we make like parkour for the chickens inside the cage. And so we're talking, and so I'm talking to the different kids. One of the little, students had been through some stuff. We had some tornadoes come through our area. Her house had been damaged by some tornadoes. And so there was that experience in the room. And so there were a lot of experiences in the room that launched me into another place of opportunity. It caused me to spring forward into taking action, into developing new relationships. But I couldn't approach them as if I had already known them. No, no, no. I needed something new. These children, they weren't the children from 3 years ago. They were the children of today. What is in your today that is calling you to spring forward? See, I think there's something there for you. I think there's something available for you, but you're not, you got to make a decision. You got to clean up. Got to clean up. Right? We know spring cleaning. So you got to do some cleaning. Clean your house, clean your heart, right? Clean your health. If you approach like these next few months of spring and you look at it and you say, "All right, it's time to clean house. There's something greater that's available for me. It's time to clean house. I need to let some things go. I don't need to be sitting there looking at those same old pictures. I need to go through and I need to clean out my playlist. I don't need to be sitting there listening to all those same old love songs that connect me back to him, that connect me back to her. No, I don't need to. I need to let that stuff go because every time I hear that song, I think about that person and where we were, and our relationship is over and done. But here I am, still heart connected. No, let yourself clean house. Let yourself clean things up so that you can see. There's a reason for this, so that you can spring forward. Right? Let yourself be free. There's something about. I'm gonna give it to you. There's something about cleaning that is almost magical, right? It does. There are physical benefits to cleaning up your space, to organizing, to getting things organized, to getting things taken care of. I'm thinking about someone right now who has her company. She organizes. She's a professional organizer. I might have to bring her on, and we can talk about this. But just having your space organized, clean, refreshed, wipe it down, go through. I spent some time, my dad and I, we were cleaning up this weekend. My mom was out of town and my mom left a list. Let me just tell you, my mom left a page of what to do every day. Thursday, do this. Friday, do this. Saturday, do this, right? She left a list and she went through, and I was cracking up thinking, my mom runs the show. Like, she's no, I need the house cleaned up. They got some people that were coming to visit. I need the house taken care of. So she left a list, and here we go. I go over, I'm helping my dad out, and we're cleaning the house. Why? We needed something fresh. Joey D, thanks. I appreciate you letting me know you love the TikToks. And I'm glad that they've helped you through some things. And so here's the deal. We go through some things for a reason. We go through some things because we're headed somewhere else. That is the only point for going through. See, the purpose for going through is because there's something else. And I believe it's time to spring into it. Think about a spring. We could shut it down on this note. Think about a spring. In order for a spring to work, it must first be compressed. In order for a spring to work, it must first face some pressure that causes it to feel like it's getting smaller. In order for a spring to work, the pressure, it must be pressed down. That's the only way it works. So think about your life. Think about your relationships. Think about your health. Has any part of your life ever felt like it was being pressed down, depressed, lowered, brought to a lower level? Well, guess what? Perhaps that was just the setup so you could spring forward. Fear, right? Fear. Fear can keep you from springing forward. Fear will hold you back. Because here's the deal. When you've been pressed down so long and that tension is building And you're like, I got to get out of this situation. I got to get out of this relationship. I need to be free from this. And so that tension is building and it's pressing you down. And you feel like, I have to get rid of this. And that when the pressure releases and the spring actually happens, it is going to launch you. And what's going to happen is the launch means you're going to leave where you've been. You're going to leave the place that's been comfortable. Some of us have been so comfortable in that place of being pressed down and depressed and held back that that's become our new norm. You're not supposed to stay there. You're supposed to launch out of there. So now you have to start to realize, yeah, where you have been in that pressed down, depressed situation, it's not where you're going to remain. And yes, you are going to launch. Think about the spring. If you've ever let one go, you know that it goes from here and it goes high and it goes far at an accelerated pace. So if you stay trapped in fear, the spring will never happen. If you stay in your last season, see, all that depression and being pressed down, that was your last season. If you stay in that season, the spring will never happen. There is a risk to springing. Why? Because you are going to move at an accelerated pace at a higher level. And I know somebody's thinking already right now, but what if I crash? You're not going to crash where you were. You're launching out. And you're going to land somewhere. And it's okay. And that place is going to be different from the one where you were. So here's what you do. Here's my challenge. My challenge to you is this. Do it afraid. Do it while you're afraid. Right? You don't know. If I let this go, I don't know what's coming in my future. Let it go. Take the risk. Take the risk. Because you don't want to regret not moving forward because you were too afraid to take the risk. Let some stuff go. Let's sell it. There's some stuff. You need some money. Go ahead, sell it. Sell some stuff. Let it go. You don't know if you'll ever have a new relationship again. That's okay. Let the old one go. Let the memories, let all the mementos, let the things go. You don't know about the new job. Let it go. Right? Let it go. Let it go. You got to let it go. Other than that, you are deciding to stay where you are. You can't. Here's the deal. You can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. You don't get to hold on to yesterday and hold on to tomorrow. No. When your hands are full, picture that. Your hands being full, you're carrying everything. If your hands are full, there's no space for something new. If your hands are full of yesterday, there's no space for the new opportunity. So if you've been struggling, wondering why you can't have the new relationships, why the new relationships aren't happening, I would dare say, take a good look at whether or not you are holding on to yesterday. Maybe you're just holding on to too much of the past and it's time to clean house. And spring is a perfect time for that. So it's time for some spring cleaning. And seriously, don't delay. Don't delay. Like, take action quickly. This is a season of change. Take action and take action quickly. Don't sit there and be pondering forever on whether or not you should go for it, whether or not you should throw it away, whether get somebody into your life, open your life up to someone and ask them, say, look, I'm really trying to move forward in life. Here's what you can do. I'm really trying to move forward in life. I need some help. I'm too emotionally attached to this stuff. So I want to open my life up to you. And I want you to come in and actually coach me. I want you to come in and mentor me. I want you to come in and can you come into my house and like throw away some stuff for me? I don't need to see it. I don't need to look at it. Here, just go through with some bags and throw some stuff away. I need some help. See, my parents, they needed some help. When I'm cleaning up some stuff, I'll call in some help. All right, go ahead. Can you just go through and throw away some stuff? Let go. I had to let go of some t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. Let it go. Because I'll save some stuff. And Lord have mercy. If you're like me, I'll fold it up neat. That can be a side note. Keeping the past organized is still detrimental. Just because you can keep your past all tucked away and neatly positioned is still detrimental and it's still taking up space. Like, you got to let it go. Just because you organize it doesn't make it, no, it's still taking up some space. So, what you want to do is clear out as much space as you can so you can have opportunity to breathe in something new experience, new life. And I challenge you, if you're really serious about going to your next level, get some help. Ask somebody to help you. Bring somebody in and commission them to go ahead and speak into your situation, to go into your house, to do what needs to be done. Give someone else authority to go through your phone book, go through your contacts list, and start deleting people out that don't need to be there anymore. Give somebody authority. Say, you know what? I give you authority. I submit to your authority. And if I trust you to do what's best for me. And right now, I need you to go through and clear some things out. Right? I need you to help me throw away the stuff. Some people holding on to rings from old marriages that ended in divorce. Let them sell that ring. Come on now, let it go. I'm telling you, don't sit there and hold the old ring and somebody promised you something and they didn't hold up to the end of the deal. And you've been forever engaged for 49,000 years. Come on now, stop. Come on. Mm-mm. You sitting there holding on, sitting there holding on. And listen, I was talking with my dad and he was telling me about his best friend that had passed away. And my dad was talking to me. It was the first time we ever had this conversation. My dad was talking to me about how he was grieving. And he told me how he had went and he was at the grave site and he had some time and he was just there with his friend and he had to bring some things to closure. We were talking about how to serve people and how you can serve people through sometimes being able to say, I've been there. And he was telling me how he had went through and he understood grief for the first time. And he said he had to bring it to closure. He had to have some closure. Hey, Abigail. He had to bring some closure. In other words, he had to clean it up. Yeah, he loved his friend who was no longer with him, but he had to clean it up. He couldn't let that just be an open wound. He had to clean it up so that it could heal up, so that it could mend. Spring cleaning for some of us looks like addressing the wound that has been open for a long time. Spring cleaning for some of us means addressing the heartbreak that we haven't addressed. And it's an open wound. It's an open wound that's being infected. And an open wound that's being infected can cause disease, meaning not ease, meaning comfort, to cause dis-ease to flow throughout different parts of your life. Dis-ease, not at ease. Sometimes we're living in our heads and in our hearts and in our homes in a state of dis-ease because we have not cleaned up some things that need to be cleaned up. And so spring is a good moment, a great moment, a right now perfect moment to bring some peace, to combat the dis-ease. I'm getting ready for some different events at the farm, peace in the pasture, where people are going to be here at the farm and they're going to sit in the pasture with the horses. Why? Because peace will help settle the dis-ease. You need that. You need some peace in your life. And so if you've been suffering with a dis-ease, clean it up. And your life is going to be blessed by it. So your life will be enhanced by you addressing that area that needs to be cleaned up. So go for it. This is a perfect moment. Spring, the first day of spring here in the United States. Now, if you're in a different part of the world, you might be in a different season. So you're in a different season. Hey, do it. Still look at it as this is a moment to spring into something new, right? Take care of your life. So that's why I'm excited today. I'm excited. First day of spring. Time to clean up some stuff because I know for me, I don't want to stay here. I want to move into the next new level of growth and development, and I want to see my business grow. I want to see my impact in people's lives grow. I want to see my personal health grow. There are some things that I want. Discipline. There are things that I want. Like, in a few days, I'm going to plant the garden. I want to see the fruit of my labors. What do you want? Don't you want something too? What's up, Zach? Don't you want something too? Isn't there something that you want? I think you should want something. I think you should want to grow something, right? I'm looking forward in my mind. I'm looking forward and I'm excited about having tomatoes. I know I'm a plant tomato plants. The one thing I know I can plant is tomato plants. Right. And so I know and I believe in my heart that I'm going to be able to grow tomatoes, and I want to plant watermelon. I know that watermelon they're going to grow, and lavender. There are some things I want to grow. I'm looking forward to seeing the fruit of my labor. So, but it starts, I have to go clean out the garden. I'm gonna go clean out the garden, get it ready, get the soil ready. There's some things I want newness. I want something. I got to get ready for it. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Get excited about your life. I know the past season might have been a rough one. I realize you might be tired from your past season. You might be tired from having the weight of your situation press you down, depress you. I understand. Listen, I've been there. All right. I've been there too. Being depressed, pressed down. Like I've been there. There were probably, there was probably a good 4 weeks in this past month where I didn't sleep well at all. My mind was just, it was just full of stuff. My mind was, man, it just wouldn't rest. But guess what? New season. And so I say, all right, going into a new season, perhaps I need to let some things go. Perhaps I need to no longer do what I was doing. Perhaps that doesn't serve me anymore. I got to let some stuff go. I have to say no to some things. There's some jobs that I'm not going to take. There are some clients that I'm going to say no to. There are some people. No, I can't work with you. I'm not able to do that. I can't take it. I can't do it all. Right. So you start saying no. That no, there's a different standard. There's something else that I need. No, I can't do it. Not doing that anymore. What was okay in yesterday, it's not okay for me anymore. I need something greater out of my relationships. I don't want that anymore. I want something greater. Right. So that is, you got to clean it up. Clean up your mindset, clean up your approach, clean up whatever needs to be cleaned up so you can move forward. That's it. right? That's it. And so it's time to go. It's time to go for it. Time to get excited about it. Time to get charged up by it. Time for some new life. I mean, go outside in the next few days. Go outside tomorrow if you can. Do something. Here's something for you to do, right? Just get out, get some air, go out and breathe deeply. Just go out and just, I don't know, get your hands dirty a little bit, put it in the grass, do something where you just start breathing, where you're just taking in some new life, right? Start moving into a new season. And I mean moving. I mean really start moving. You perhaps right now could be listening to this or watching this, and you might be in a hospital bed, right? Just ask somebody if you can. Can you move me a little bit? Can you do something for me? Can you bring some dirt in from the outside? Can you do some? Can you do something for me so that I can get some movement going? Right? Just I encourage you to take action so that your mind and your body starts to know, you know what? I'm serious about this. So it's time to spring into a new season. What's the best advice for being judged by physical issues and the things that have happened in the past? Right? Here's the deal. If you're being judged by physical issues, perhaps like your physique or something like that, and things that have happened in the past, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say own everything that's true and reject everything that's a lie. If it is true, right? If it is fact, own it. Now understand, facts and truth are not the same. Okay. Here's a fact, right? A fact is I'm sitting in this chair. That's a fact. And it's true, right? But like I won't always be here. And so a fact can change. Facts can they can actually change. Like, oh, it's a fact that Brian is in this chair. But it's true that Brian doesn't have to be, he's not going to always be in that chair. Right. So like there are some differences. Like truth is eternal. Facts change. I can go step on the scale. Oh Lord, here's some facts. Right, here's some facts. And I learned that these are facts that change every day. Oh gosh. So one day I get on the scale and it has one number, 183. The next day, it might say 184. And the next day, it might say 185. And if I eat a box of donuts or half a box of donuts, it might say 187. Those are all facts about Brian, but they're facts. Those facts change. So the truth of me is I'm still Brian. The facts can change, but the who I am, Brian is always going to be. That's always going to be. That's my truth. Those other things, there are facts, and those facts change, right? And so from day to day, they're not lies. It's not a lie that I was 184 one day and 187 the next day. No, that was a fact, right? That's a fact. We can check that. So understand what certain things we need to own it. So yeah, I own that. I can own 187. I can put in some work. I can own 175. Truth is, I am who I am. See, the truth of me is not determined by the scale. The truth of me is not determined by anything that is temporary. See the difference? Like you want to hold me to what happened in the past? Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did that. That was a fact. I did that. That happened to me. That's a fact. The truth of me is that's not all I am because I'm not there anymore. So if you want to hold me to the facts of yesterday, if you want to hold me to the facts of my physical being or my physical condition, you can go ahead and hold me to that. But the truth is, I know that I'm not that. That's a part of my experience, but that is not who I am. And I get to move into something else. I get to move into something different because the truth is there's something else in me that frees me to a new moment. The truth will make you free. The truth can set you free. Free from what? Free from the facts of the past. The truth can set you free from the facts of the past. In your past, you were abused. In your past, you were neglected. In your past, you were, you had low standards. In your past, all these things can be a fact in your past, but they're not the truth of your eternal existence. And you can move forward into a different and create a different fact. The fact is now I have a higher standard. The fact is now I am in a different place. The fact is now I am healed and whole. I am not broken in my past. I have a new fact. See? You can create new facts. The truth is you have the power to do that. You have the power. Here's the truth. You have the power to transform, actually change, move the form of your life from one thing to another. You have the power to transform your life. That's truth. So be encouraged. Someone else can try to hold you in the past, but you don't have to. And if you have been doing that, today is a perfect day to spring into something different. Why not? Listen, it's right there in the name. Right? Like I'm springing into something different. I see myself. I see myself in my future and I look much better than I do right now. I see you in your future and you look much better than you look right now. I see you in your new facts because the truth is you have the power to get there. So go ahead. Like if you made it to this moment and we had this discussion, to talk to you about that situation that has been on your mind, that has been on your heart for so long, that thing you've been beating yourself up about for so long. You've been depressing yourself for so long, right? You've been see, here's the thing. When you take a spring and you depress it, it gets smaller. You've been making yourself small for so long, but it is time for you to spring into something new. Move at an accelerated pace, at a higher level into something new. Isn't that good? Isn't that good for you? That's good for me. Think about it. You get to spring. Don't just be casual. If I could, I would just beg you. Don't just be casual in this season about your life. Don't just be casual about where you're going. Don't just be casual about your passion. I was so excited today taking 10 small chickens into 2 classrooms with 42 children, 2 adults. I was so excited because as those children walked into the classroom and their faces lit up and they were smiling, I knew in that moment, for me, I'm looking at it, I'm watching these children, some of which has labels. They've been labeled. Oh, that kid has learning disabilities. This child has learning challenges. This child is this child's been through that. And I was watching them and I got to teach them, hey, this is how you're going to hold. I told them all, I said, you have power. I said, all of you children have power to crush these little birds in your hand, but I still want you to pick them up. All of you have the power to crush them. So I want you to know something about your power. These are young 5th graders. I said, hey, I want you to know something about your power. You have power to do harm, but I trust you because you have power to create loving, kind, nurturing relationships. And these chickens right now, they are afraid, but I need you. I told them, I said, I need you to reach down and to hold them because I don't want these chickens to be afraid of humans. And they're young and they're babies, and you all are going to be the ones that help train them. And so one after another, they were picking them up and they were holding them. And I taught them how to hold something that was precious. And tonight, as grown-ups, we're just having this same conversation. Tonight, I'm encouraging you to hold something that is in your life as precious. Hold your life as precious. You have the power to no longer, you don't have to crush your life. You don't have to crush your dreams. You don't have to crush your hopes. You don't have to crush any of them. Any good thing about you, you don't have to crush that. Learn how to hold it in your hands and nurture it so that you don't have to be afraid about your next level. That's what it's all about. That's what spring is. You're going to hold something in your hands that's going to allow you to move into your next level and not be afraid. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Where you're going is a good place. So hold it. Hold it with care and know that you are capable of doing that. I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out on this first day of spring. And listen, it's time for you to go. It's go time. It's time to do this. Like, don't just hear it and don't let it just be, oh, that was an inspirational message. No, it was not. No, I don't even want to be inspirational like that. I don't want that. I don't want to be an inspirational person in your life. I don't want that. I want to be the person that helps you to actually move into. I don't, there's enough people that do enough motivational talking, and it's just blah blah blah, and we hear it, and it's in one ear, out the other, but we don't move. I want to be the person that disturbs your disturbs your comfort zone and causes you to say, "Today is my day. Like today, I move. I'm taking action. Today, I'm doing something." That's what I want. I want when my life is over, I want for people to say, because of him, because of something he said, I did something. Like, do something. Please do something. Do it. Do the thing. That's do the thing. All right. So here it is, first day of spring. We do the thing. That's so corny because it rhymed, but this is all good. This is all good. It's time to move. Time to take action. Care for the precious part of your life and move forward. That's what we do. And so now, with that in mind, I'm going to do what I do. You know me, I shut it down and close it down with prayer. And so I'm just going to pray a prayer. And guess what? I will do no harm with it. And so it'll just be to encourage your life and to speak life and love over you into your hearing so that you would be even encouraged to move forward because that's what it's all about. There's no other reason to show up if it's not to help you to move into the next level of greatness in your life. And that's what it's about. Serving you with anything that I have so that your life can become everything that it can possibly be. So, Father, thank you for this day that you have made an opportunity for us to rejoice and be glad in this day. Thank you for all of the provision for this day. Thank you for all that you have supplied in this day for us here in the United States and for others around the world. Thank you for the newness of a new season. Thank you for the opportunities of a new season. If that new season is a new day, if it's a new hour, if it's a new minute, thank you for the opportunity for the new season, which really is a mindset shift. Thank you for the new season that starts when we begin to think differently and to move differently and to do differently. Thank you for us having open hearts to the possibility of what can be. I think for each and every person that is a part of this broadcast, whether they are on live, whether they are watching on replay, I thank you for them. I thank you because this message is a message that can encourage each of us wherever we are in this moment. And so I pray that those that are hearing it would not just hear it, but that they would put it to action, that they would test it, that they would look at their lives, look at the places that need to be cleaned up, and they would clean them up. I pray for the person that's going to clean up the brokenhearted place. I pray for the person that is going to look around their home and clean up. I pray for someone that's going to look at their health and clean up, their finances and clean up, their educational endeavors and clean up. Those matters of the heart where they feel fear and doubt. I pray that those areas would get cleaned up and that confidence would grow. That action would be taken. For those that are tied up in some old relationships and they're still holding on to the past, I pray they would clean that stuff up, that they would throw some stuff out. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, I pray that they would throw some stuff out. I pray that they would get some help so that they can throw some stuff out so they don't have to be tied up. to the past. And I pray blessings upon each one as we move forward. As we take action, I pray that they will be prospered as they go, that the healing would happen as they go, as they do it, as they do the thing. I pray that they would be prospered and healed and that blessings would overtake them. And so I thank you in advance for all of these things. And I pray sweet peace and slumber and rest upon each and every one as those moments are presented. And even as they move through this week and the rest of this season, I pray that it would be a season of refreshment and newness. Thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Thank you all for hanging. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being serious about your life. And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the goodness that is headed your way. I'm looking forward to hearing about the good things, the growth. I'm looking forward to it. I anticipate it. I'm expecting it in advance, right? Just like I'm expecting tomatoes to grow when I plant my tomato plant. I expect some good things to happen in your life. So thank you so much for being here. You all have a fantastic evening. My name is B.A. Shepherd, 2P's ARD, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Have a good night. Love you much. See ya.